Heading into your second season as the head coach at Tulane, what would you say is the biggest stride that your team made in year one?
I just think understanding our philosophy offensively, defensively, kicking game, how we do things academically, how we do things off the field, in the weight room, just everything. The second year is so different. This is the fifth program that I've taken over, and year one is a lot of transition, new staff, new way of doing things. Second year just runs so much smoother, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, and you have that reputation certainly for turning programs around. What style have you found works best for this group as you've learned a little bit more about them and they've learned more about you?
Well, they've been a really easy group to work with. Sometimes you come in and guys aren't, you're worried about them buying in, and these guys have bought into everything that we're doing on and off the football field. It's been a very smooth transition. It didn't correlate into as many wins as we wanted last year, but really good group to work with.
Your defense took a big step in the right direction last season. What were you happy about with the improvements that were made there?
Well, I think we ended up 20-something in the country defensively, and just had two really good leaders that we're going to have to replace on the defensive side of the ball. Tanzel Smarty's with the Los Angeles Rams now, and then Nico Marley, who's the all-time leading tackle for loss guy in the history of Tulane. He's with the Washington Redskins. So those are two guys that are going to have some tough shoes to fill with them. But we've got a lot of guys coming back. I think there's 14 guys on the defensive side of the ball who have started at least one game in their career, and 8 of whom have started more than 10 games in their career. So a very veteran-laden group.
So I know offensive improvement has been a big area of focus for you and your coaching staff, specifically at the quarterback position. What is it about Jonathan Banks that makes him the right fit to be under center now?
Well, number one, he's got a lot of experience. He started 2 years of junior college football, won a bunch of games, really with a couple teams that maybe weren't supposed to win a lot of games. And he fits our profile athletically for us. He's very competitive. He's got good size, about 6'2", 220, good speed, fearless runner, and he can really throw the football well. He's got a strong arm, very accurate. So we're going to be able to open up the offense a little bit more than what we did last year.
What are some of the biggest selling points about Tulane that you try to get across to prospects and their families when they visit you?
Well, there's 3 areas that we're really emphasizing to student athletes. First and foremost, an opportunity to get a world-class education. We're the 39th ranked school academically in the nation out of 4,800 colleges and universities. So, we talk to our guys about the next 40 years, not the next 4 years. Get to play in a great league, be a part of the Power Six. I've been in a few other leagues, and the American is certainly a great league. Play with any conference in the country. And then last but not least, you get to do both those things in the iconic city of New Orleans. So those are 3 things that we're selling.
So that's what I want to talk to you about, New Orleans. You've had 1 full year there. What have been some of your favorite parts about living in this city that you now call home?
I'll tell you the neatest thing that we did in recruiting on an official visit is we did a second line. I don't know if you know what a second line is, but they have a little banner and a couple guys hold it, and you have a brass band right behind them, 5, 6 guys, and you go down the street and you do it in the French Quarter. And so we actually closed down, and we got to Jackson Square, and they closed down an area for us. We went across Canal Street, which is a very busy area, the French Quarter, and started with about 80 prospects, their families, hosts, coaches, their families. And we ended up with about 500 people when we got to the restaurant. And so that was probably the neatest New Orleans thing that I've done so far, and we were able to incorporate football into it as well.
After going 4-8 in your first season as the head coach of this program, if you were to kind of fast forward to the end of this year, what would you look back and say that this was a successful season? What would you need to happen?
Well, we need to make a bowl game, without question. That's a big goal for us, and then compete for a conference championship. Those are 2 things we're always going to have goals for our program. We came close last year. There's 4 games. We came into the 4th quarter and didn't finish as well as we needed to, and that's something that we're going to really emphasize during preseason camp, finishing, particularly in the 4th quarter.
What is it going to take for this group of guys to turn some of those close wins, or close losses rather, into wins?
we need to play better offensively. You know, there's no secret about that. We had a tough time. Ran the ball fairly well. I think we about 228 yards a game rushing, 20-something in the country rushing. But we've got to be able to throw the ball more effectively. We've got to play better in the kicking game. Did a good job with our coverage units, but not very good in our return game. Those are a couple areas we need to get better at. And then on the defensive side of the ball, we played great, but we need to get more takeaways. And, you know, that's something we've been emphasizing as well.